Hi everyone, it's Tracy, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how you can quickly and easily create a color palette using Adobe Illustrator for desktop. I'm also going to show you how you can save color palettes to your Creative Cloud library so that you can use them in the iPad version of the app as well as any other apps attached to your cloud subscription. So let's get started. All right, the first thing I want to do is select two colors that are going to be my base colors that I'm going to blend. So I'll grab my rectangle tool, and with the shift key held down, I'm going to drag out a square. Now I have a fill here and no stroke, and I think I'm going to change the color of my fill to something in maybe the yellow-orange family. Okay, so I need a second color. Now instead of recreating a rectangle, I'm just going to duplicate this one. So with the selection tool and the Alt key down, I'm going to drag out a duplicate. And I just need to change the fill to a different color. And I think I'll pick something maybe in the teal family here. Okay, so I have my two base colors, and now I need to blend these to create my full color palette. With my selection tool, I'm going to drag across to select both. I'll go up to Object, and the first thing I want to do is make sure that my blend mode is set correctly. So I'll select Blend Options. And I do want specified steps selected as my spacing option. And because I want a total of 5 colors for my palette, I'm going to keep this at 3. You can create your palette whatever size you'd like by changing this number. Just remember that this number is the number of additional color steps between your first and last color. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And it's going to look like it didn't do anything, but don't worry. Go back up to Object, and now we're actually going to make the blend. So I'll go back down to Blend, click Make, and now I have a total of 5 colors, and these 3 additional colors are a blend of my first and last color. Okay, great, so I have my color palette, but what if I want to save it so that I can use it in the future? Well, there's one final step I need to take before I can do that. If I go to my Layers panel, you can see that this is showing as a blend, and I actually need it to be a group of individual paths. So with it still selected, I'll go up to Object, and I'm going to expand this. Make sure that Object and Fill are checked off and click OK. And now if you go back into the Layers panel, you'll see a group of individual paths, and I'm all set to save this as a palette. There are a couple of different options for saving color palettes, and everything is done here in the Swatch panel, which is this rectangle with 6 squares in it. If you don't see it here in your toolbar, just go up to the Window toolbar, scroll down, and select Swatches. Now the first option is to save it at the document level as a color group, which is shown here with the folders next to it. What that means is that when I save this document, close it out, when I come back into the document, it's always going to be available to me here in the Swatch panel. So with these selected, I'll go to my burger menu, click New Color Group, and I'm just going to name this Yellow to Teal. Now you can always rename that, so don't worry if you're not sold on the name. And I'll make sure that selected artwork is chosen and click OK. And now I have this color group selected down here. But again, this is only at the document level. What if I want to be able to use this color palette in future Illustrator documents or in the iPad app, Photoshop, or one of my other Creative Cloud apps? Well, that's where you need to save it to your library here. So with that color group selected, I'm going to go down to the bottom here and select this third icon, which is Add Selected Swatches and Color Groups to my current library. And when I check it, you can see that it showed up here. So now it's not only available to me for future Illustrator for desktop application, but I can also access it here in Photoshop. If I scroll down, you'll see that it's automatically showing up here. And I can also use it in the iPad app, Fresco, or any of my other Creative Cloud apps. So it's just that easy to quickly create a color palette and save it either at the document level or to your library so you can use it in all of your apps. I hope you found this tutorial useful and have lots of fun creating beautiful palettes. Thanks so much for watching.